I think you start improvising your life. I think that's the, the point when you notice the flow and you notice how much fun is it. And I think I had this need from very beginning. I started my education in the classic world, of course, but also in very specific field. I come from Poland, and if you want to be a serious musician in Poland, you need to go to I would say like kind of like special schools. I don't know how would you call it? Like in Germany, music gymnasium. It's kind of no school where you go there. First you make audition. So there was 100 kids when I was 7 and they took 20. And it was very classical, very straight, was East European school. So a friend of mine said that I was professional since I was 7. And it's true, I think, because the way of thinking about making music was very professional. So, and it was combined with visiting museums and visiting different concerts, not only classical, but theater pieces. And now I think it's all of this just really create my way of wanted to be in the art, wanted to be in this world. And so on the one side, like super what I said, that is classical education where you need to be really disciplined and do really play the pieces in the absolutely right way, and many times only one way. So there was a big need of rebellion, a big need. I think that start with this, and from the other side, it creates a world of, oh my God, it's so much going on outside, and all of this is art, and all of this you can get it because it's it doesn't need any language, international, and yeah. So I think that's how it starts. And then I was looking very much for it. Even doing my classical career, I started to study in Poland, and I went to Germany, studied in Weimar, made my postgraduate studies, and go to Cologne to make to study a Baroque violin, because that was the step where I thought, okay, in Baroque music, improvisation, it's not only allowed but wished, and there are so many pieces nobody knows still, so I can do whatever I like. And it was the way, definitely the way. I felt lots of freedom in this field, and especially in Cologne, just very open. Would collaborate with different culture and culture, different disciplines, but culture, of course, but it's everything the same. And so already that was the step. And then I was working with people who are very much connected with the dance scene. I have a duo with percussionist Jorge Martin, who was working with a contemporary dance, and he took me in the scene. He took me in the improvisation, and we started this duo, and I really loved the way, and started making project with them. And from this duo, now it develops to a solo project, still with collaboration, lots with dance, with performer, with visual artists. Yeah. And the journey just, it's it's continuing. I try to think. No, I didn't have any lessons. But I took part in some workshops where I was musician, but there was also, of course, different other topics there only from dancers, and I always went there and I tried to do it. And I think that was already the school, and that was so great because they let me do whatever I did. That's also this different way of just doing and very much feeling your body. And this need in my body was always there, like for express myself much more with the movement. So that wasn't so really a lesson. I I was collaborate, and you could maybe sometimes call it a lesson with composers, but especially from the modern musics. And also of the like here also Kemençe player. I'm in Turkey now and on artistic residency, and very much interested in the and hear the folklore music. So I will have a lesson. I really organized that, but also yeah, just playing with improviser, always making hundreds questions and watch them and trying to do the same thing or just feed there. So more doing. I fight for this. I'm very much sure about it, and I'm working also in education system, and I'm teaching, and I was so lucky that in the place where I'm teaching in Wuppertal, which is very open and very much connected also to the dance scene, Pina Bausch, and also free jazz scene. There is a big tradition of improvisation. So I think that I was very lucky because I could also make my interdisciplinary work there, because I think we need to start really early, and shows even the kids that there's this world, because it's sometimes when I was working with students, it was already after so many years in the one way of thinking, it was kind of hard to open. It was or maybe there was a big I would say inner interest and need, but they were afraid that it could destroy something. And I think that's the main thing, that people are afraid that if they start to improvise or go to the different discipline, their skills start to be worse. And my experience is just completely different. And I'm still playing lots of classic, and my pieces are always, like till now, mostly 80% really inspired of classical music. I do lots of solo pieces, like of course Chaconne of Bach, like was the first one that I started to experimentize, but then Isaïe sonates, Martineau, and all of those difficult pieces were the start of the improvisation, and I took them after years, and I was just so surprised. Everything started to be so much easier. The technical problems partly really disappeared, and I think that's the approach, make the change. And I also think that's what we understand after technique. It's the knowledge how we play. That's the technique. So it's going actually about an approach and not about hours and hours of creating something, which is sometimes the memory, of course, body memory and movement and imagination. But all of this is create of some mental technique. And so I think the improvisation opened some fields in our minds and made everything more light. And we know from life, like if there is the lightness, there is the way to find new solution, and there is a joy, and in looking for a solution, creating. And so I very much hope that that would be a part of education system. So one piece what I did was Lipinski Capres, which developed to one of my favorite pieces. And I'm playing this and playing, and then I notice, oh God, this phrase is so amazing. It just and so I cannot stop, and I'm doing something with this and repeating, and then take to my looper, and then it makes something completely different what I didn't expect before, and then I take it and go further and further. So it started really with some impulse from there, and then it took completely different way. It's like walking in the forest, what you start, and then you just take some different paths because you notice, oh, there's the beautiful sun, and oh, here's the trees. And it's always, of course, always combined with this, what I experience somewhere else. I notice so much also, like I take these motifs, but I think about, oh, I remember this performance and I love this place where they did this, and there was some break, like super silence moment, and I thought, okay, how about I just do these breaks every time, like every few bars or whatever, or if this piece is just have the subject of breathing, or so it's always something what I, even if I don't notice afterwards, I when I hear it and watch the picture, I said, oh, I just absolutely know where it's coming from, and it's coming definitely from outside. So I need this both. I need this really practical thing, like playing, and I need this being outside and watch and hear and also experience and sometimes just go crazy somewhere, whatever it is, if it's dancing in traditional way, or I don't know, singing on the street, whatever. It happens to me here a lot, which is a very nice thing. I start with the looper, actually, with a drone, and we're just putting one note and then playing the piece to this note, and completely it changed everything. And so that was first one note, and then it started to be more but much more going direction, like sound design, then like really making really harmonics. Actually, I love if it's not making working dissonance with this, what I'm doing. So I had also a very nice research scholarship, what I could work with, was a great composer in Paris. And so we start to like really go into the instrument, which is looper, and really find out how it works, that that's machine, but it can be much more dynamic. It can have all of these colors and which I need, because I'm coming from the classic, so I need that it has this piano forte. I need that it has a structure of a composition which I'm used to it from the classical pieces, in meaning of this development of climax and on all of this. I'm so much created of this that I'm looking also now in the machine of this. I wanted also do with other work with ornamentic, everything what I see with people, just come with the artist, what they bring. It was just very, very open for me, and that happened. I came in contact with very different artists and went to different performances, and for a few days I made a very cool recording with DJ from here, who's actually living here in Istanbul but coming from Beirut, and who made it, and now he said other people from visual art wanted that they hear that and want to do some work with this. So that was already super cool, because I very much like this music, and then playing some crazy sounds to this was really fun. And yesterday I had a recording in the gallery, making two pieces. We made a video art, and now I will just make the music to this. And the other with visual arts, which was combination of folkloristic Polish motifs with Turkey ornaments. So that's, and the music would also be going this direction. So it you never know what happens. So it's definitely combined with what I planned, but as always in life, at the end is coming something else out of this. Yeah.